The following program contains details of extreme violence and disturbing criminal behavior. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. He shares a name with a Marvel anti-hero. But there is nothing heroic about Wade Wilson. In 2019, he became Florida's most terrifying random predator. In 2024, he became a courtroom spectacle. And by 2026, he has become something even more disturbing, a viral obsession. How did a man who strangled two women for the sake of killing become a social media heartthrob? This is the full investigation of the Deadpool Killer. On October 7, 2019, the quiet city of Cape Coral, Florida, became the backdrop for a nightmare. Wade Wilson met Kristine Melton at a local live music bar. It seemed like an ordinary night out. But by morning, Kristine was dead, strangled in her own bed as she slept. For Wilson, however, the horror was just beginning. He wasn't done. He stole Kristine's car and her phone, then drove to an ex-girlfriend's house, where he brutally assaulted her. After that, he went looking for his next victim. He found Diane Ruiz, a mother of two who was walking home after finishing her night shift at a restaurant. She was just trying to get home to her kids. Wilson pulled over and offered her a ride, pretending he needed directions. Once she was in the car, he strangled her, but when he realized she was still breathing, he didn't stop. He pushed her out onto the pavement and ran her over with the car. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly. In his own chilling words to investigators, he kept going until she looked like spaghetti. He left her body in a field and drove away. It was an act of pure, remorseless cruelty. But Wade Wilson didn't try to hide what he'd done. He didn't flee the state or go into hiding. Instead, he made a phone call to his biological father, Stephen Testasica. The conversation that followed would haunt Testasica forever. Wade didn't sound sorry. He didn't sound scared. He sounded excited. He detailed the horrific murders of both women with a chilling sense of pride, as if he was boasting about an achievement. He recounted the details of their last moments with a casual detachment that was nothing short of monstrous. His father didn't hesitate. He knew what he had to do. He immediately called the police. This single phone call led to Wilson's arrest, but it was only the beginning of a bizarre and disturbing transformation. A transformation that would eventually captivate the internet and turn a killer into a twisted celebrity. The arrest wasn't the end of the story. In many ways, it was the start of a whole new chapter, one that would play out in public and online for years to come. When Wade Wilson first appeared in court, he looked like a troubled young man, but nothing out of the ordinary. But as the years in custody passed, his appearance began to change dramatically. His face became a canvas of hate. He got new tattoos, each one more shocking than the last. Swastikas appeared under his eyes. A pattern of stitches was tattooed across his mouth, as if his lips were sewn shut. A massive skull was etched onto his scalp. These weren't random designs. They were a deliberate statement. At first, he seemed self-conscious. During the trial, he even requested makeup to cover the tattoos for the jury, perhaps hoping to appear more sympathetic. But as the trial progressed, something shifted. He leaned into the monstrous image he had created. He smirked. He made disturbing gestures. He was no longer just Wade Wilson, the defendant. He was embracing a new identity, one that the media had already given him, the Deadpool Killer. He was performing, and the world was watching. And this is where the story takes a dark, modern turn. While the families of Kristine Melton and Diane Ruiz sat in the courtroom, reliving their worst nightmare and crying for their lost loved ones, a completely different reaction was brewing online. Thousands of people, mostly women, began sending Wade Wilson fan mail and love letters. They started online petitions with hashtags like FreeWade. Most disturbingly, they created TikTok fan edits, setting videos of his tattooed face and courtroom smirks to romantic music. Psychologists have a name for this phenomenon: hybristophilia. It's the attraction to those who commit gruesome, notorious crimes. It's the same impulse that led women to fall for Ted Bundy or Richard Ramirez. With Wilson, the obsession reached a new fever pitch in early 2026. fueled by the release of the documentary Handsome Devil, Charming Killer. The line between justice and entertainment blurred completely, and a brutal murderer became a social media fixation, a problematic fave for a new generation. During the penalty phase of his trial in 2024, Wilson's defense team tried to save his life. They argued he wasn't evil, but sick. They brought in neurologists who testified about his history of brain trauma, multiple concussions from fights in football, and a structurally abnormal brain. They painted a picture of a man whose mind was ravaged by years of drug abuse and untreated mental illness, claiming he was whacked out of his mind when he committed the murders. They hoped to convince the jury that his actions were the result of a broken brain, not a cold heart. But the prosecution hit back hard. They argued that Wilson wasn't sick, he was evil. He knew exactly what he was doing. They pointed to his own words, his confession to his father. He didn't say he lost control. He didn't say he was hearing voices. He gave a simple, terrifying reason for the murders. I just wanted to do it. It wasn't about a troubled past or a damaged brain. It was about a choice to kill for the sake of killing. In the end, the jury was decisive. The judge was clear. Wade Wilson was found guilty, and for his crimes, he was sentenced to death. As of February 2026, he sits on death row at Union Correctional Institution in Florida. His lawyers are currently fighting for an appeal, claiming new evidence regarding his mental state has emerged. But for the families of Kristine, Melton, and Diane Ruiz, the legal battles do little to heal the permanent scars. The Deadpool Killer, the man who took 2 innocent lives for his own satisfaction, is now waiting for the state to finish what he started that night in 2019. This case leaves us with unsettling questions. Why do we look? Why are we so drawn to the darkness? Why do thousands of people idolize a man who treated human life with such casual, vicious cruelty? Is Wade Wilson the only monster in this story, or is our collective obsession with him the real mystery we need to solve? The tattoos on his face can be covered, but the crimes he committed can never be forgotten. Thanks for watching Criminalverse, where every crime hides a story. Before I continue, tell me what case you want to see covered next in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe.